There is a growing awareness among scientific and medical communities about the importance of probiotics and their benefits, or the good bacteria as we know them. Today we're going to talk to Helen Lyon of Pure Medic, and she's going to talk to us about the benefits of probiotics through breastfeeding and also even earlier on through the last trimester of pregnancy. So Helen, tell us exactly what are probiotics?
Hi Catherine, good question. Probiotics are live bacteria that may confer a health benefit on the host. Now, we as human hosts actually are hosts to trillions of bacteria in our bodies, which is quite extraordinary. In fact, you and I have 10 times more bacteria in our bodies than we have human cells.
Oh, should I be worried about that?
No, I mean, bacteria is good. Not all bacteria is bad. We tend to think of bacteria as bad, but we need good bacteria to survive.
So why would a mother consider taking probiotics either through breastfeeding or earlier on during her pregnancy?
Okay, let me start with pregnancy first, Catherine, because up until a few years ago, we actually thought that babies were sterile in the womb. That was a widely held belief. We now know that the baby actually develops its gut and it develops its immune system whilst it is in the womb, and not when it's travelling through the birth canal.
So therefore, if a mother is actually taking probiotics, for example, in the last trimester of her pregnancy, there are benefits that are actually coming across the placenta and into the baby, is that correct?
Absolutely, and especially in the last trimester, where you have a lot of genetic material moving around the mother's body, is when the gut starts to develop, the immune system starts to develop, and baby starts to develop its immunity and its newborn defences for life outside the womb.
Okay, so how then would it benefit a mother, for example, when she's breastfeeding in those first few months after the baby's been born?
Okay, so we know that breastfeeding is the precious gift that's shared between mother and baby, and we also know that the benefits of breastfeeding extend well into adulthood now. Research has been quite incredible.
Yes.
But it's not always easy for mums, and not all breast milk is the same. That's why some mothers get mastitis and others don't. So by fortifying the microbial balance of probiotic and good bacteria in the breast milk is of great benefit to not only the mother's health and the mother's breast health, but also that's conferred through to the baby.
Okay, so how long should mothers be looking at taking a probiotic, for example, once the baby's been born?
Once the baby's been born, we recommend 6 months being the sole period of breastfeeding.
Yes.
The World Health Organization recommends that babies should be breastfed solely for 6 months before moving on to solids.
Okay.
Also, the last trimester of pregnancy is really, really important, because that's when the newborn's defences start to be developed in the womb. So a total period we recommend of 9 months.
Okay, so I'm guessing that mothers could continue to take this as a general overall health benefit.
Absolutely.
Beyond breastfeeding and the birth period, yeah?
Absolutely. We have some interesting anecdotal evidence from mothers who are not breastfeeding who continue to take probiotics for general health, and even if they are breastfeeding past the sole period of breastfeeding while their baby's moved on to solids, there's still great benefits to be held through the breast milk to the infant. It's really very, very interesting. There's been some great clinical trials done on treating mothers with mastitis with probiotics as a therapy rather than as a preventative. In a clinical trial that was done a couple of years ago, there was over 350 women. Fascinating thing I found about that was, of those women, none of them had any good probiotic bacteria in their breast milk, and yet we know that it exists in healthy breast milk. So at the end of the trial period, there were some mothers, half the mothers were on antibiotics, half were on probiotics. At the end of the trial period, the great thing for the mums in the probiotic group was very little recurrence. There was virtually no pain. There was no thrush, hallelujah. And I guess most importantly is that 100% of the women having probiotics as a therapy were able to continue breastfeeding.
So are all probiotics the same? Are there different types of probiotic and different types of strains that we should be looking for?
I like to draw an analogy of dogs. You think, what is she talking about? Dogs all belong to the species called Canine familiaris. But within that species of dogs, there's a whole lot of breeds. We'd call them, in probiotic land, we'd call them strains. So like a German Shepherd is a fantastic guard dog, and a Kelpie is a great cattle dog, you wouldn't choose a Chihuahua to be a guide dog. You know, we know that a Labrador is best for that purpose. Probiotics are the same in as much as different strains are designed and have different therapeutic purposes. So it's really important, consult your health practitioner, talk to your GP, your midwife, your lactation consultant, your obstetrician, because different strains, and the strains are really important, have different therapeutic benefits. I can give you another example. There's a lactobacillus species called rhamnosus, and rhamnosus has been shown to have great benefits in treating urinary tract infections in women. Now, there's 5 different strains of rhamnosus that were actually tried for this particular purpose. Only one of them worked. So much and all as there's lactobacillus rhamnosus good for UTIs, actually it's only one strain of lactobacillus rhamnosus that is good for UTI. So it's a little bit of a minefield, and you really need to work with your health professional to make sure that whatever you're taking is fit for purpose.
So where can people actually purchase this type of product if they want to go and get a supplement? Do they talk to pharmacists or?
They talk to their pharmacists, their lactation consultants, their midwives. In Australia, they're very well informed, because we're leading the world really in some of the research and application in these particular areas. The strain that I was talking about, which is specific to mastitis and also reducing the incidence of gastrointestinal infections in infants by about 50%, I might add, is actually a breast milk strain. So it's a probiotic strain that's isolated from breast milk. So that's a really important one to remember. It's been shown to have great benefits for breast health and for infant health.
Okay, well that sounds like some wonderful information. If you'd like to know more about probiotics and the benefits to you or for your baby, go to the Kids Life website.